Good afternoon, Southwest Florida. I'm Bri Walling. This Naples Herald Lunch Break is sponsored by our friends at Bucelo Key of Cape Coral. This afternoon, we'll tell you about Nevada rancher Cliven Bundy walking free, a deadline for Salvadorans to leave the U.S., and more. Today is Tuesday, January 9th, and this is the Lunch Break. A federal judge on Monday dismissed criminal charges against Nevada rancher Cliven Bundy, who gained national attention during his armed standoff with government authorities in 2014 as he challenged their authority over federal land. The dismissal was the latest defeat for government officials prosecuting Bundy and his relatives in connection with a pair of showdowns with federal authorities, first on Bundy's home turf and then 2 years later when his sons led an armed takeover of an Oregon wildlife refuge. Cliven Bundy walked out of a courthouse in Las Vegas a free and defiant man and declared that his fight against the U.S. authority was not over and threatened that if the U.S. Bureau of Land Management agents come again to seize his cattle over unpaid grazing fees, they will encounter the very same thing as last time. The stunning collapse of the federal criminal case against Cliven Bundy and his sons Ryan and Ammon marked a new low for government lawyers whose work is now under review by the Trump administration. Jurors in Portland, Oregon also acquitted Ryan and Ammon Bundy more than a year ago after taking over federal wildlife refuge in early 2016 and calling for the U.S. government to turn over public land to local control. Nevada's newly appointed acting U.S. attorney released a one-sentence statement saying she will make a determination about whether to challenge the ruling before the 9th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals. The Trump administration's decision to end special protections for about 200,000 Salvadoran immigrants filled many Salvadoran families with dread on Monday, raising the possibility that they will be forced to abandon their roots in the U.S. and return to a violent homeland they have not known for years, even decades. The Homeland Security Secretary gave Salvadorans with temporary protected status until September 9th of 2019 to leave the U.S. or face deportation. El Salvador becomes the fourth country since Trump took office to lose protection under the program, which provides humanitarian relief for people whose countries are hit with natural disasters or other strife. Many immigrants who have made U.S. their home for decades and have started families here hope Congress can deliver a long-term reprieve by the deadline. If that fails, they face a grim choice: return to El Salvador voluntarily or live in the U.S. illegally under an administration that has dramatically increased deportation arrests. The action presents a serious challenge for El Salvador, a country of 6.2 million people whose economy counts on money spent by wage earners in the U.S., and the El Salvador president renewed his plea to extend the protection status to allow more time for Congress to deliver a long-term fix for them to stay in the U.S. Intel's chief executive has said software fixes to address the recently discovered meltdown and Spectre bugs in microchips would be released in the next few days. CEO Brian opened his keynote talk on Monday night at the annual CES Gadget Show in Las Vegas by addressing the hard-to-fix flaws disclosed by security researchers last week. At an event known for its technological optimism, it was an unusual, sober, and high-profile reminder of the information security and privacy dangers lurking beneath many of the tech industry's gadgets. Some researchers have argued that the flaws reflect a fundamental hardware defect that can't be fixed short of a recall. But Intel has pushed back against that idea, arguing that the problems can be mitigated by software or firmware upgrades. Companies from Microsoft to Apple have announced efforts to patch the vulnerabilities, and Krasanich promised fixes in the coming weeks of 90% of the processors Intel has made in the past 5 years, consistent with an earlier statement from the company. To date, he said Intel has seen no sign that anyone has stolen data by exploiting the two vulnerabilities. And that was a lunch break for today. I'm Bri Walling. For your twice daily news fix, head over to the Naples Herald YouTube channel and subscribe. Leave us a comment to let us know your thoughts on the news or what you would like to hear about. The lunch break airs Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. And don't forget to check out our morning report that also airs Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.